Hi guys, in this video we will create some sample programs using methods that we learned in the previous lesson. To start with, we will write a simple program to display a message on the screen using a method. So I have already created a console project and named it as hello method. In order to write a new method, you need to make sure you do not write in these curly brackets as they belong to the main method. So what you will need to do is outside this bracket, if we just start the method with the keyword static, as I mentioned in my previous video, for the time being we will ignore the static keyword because we'll cover it in length, and at the moment just remember that whenever you are starting a method, use the word static because the main method in our class is static. So we have to declare any other method as static. So we'll start it as static, and our method doesn't return any value. So we will use void, and we will name our method as display message and close the brackets and press the enter key, start a curly bracket. As soon as you start the curly bracket, it will automatically insert the matching ending bracket. In here, what we do is we just write a console.writeLine statement which says hello from the method. If you remember, we used to write this statement in our main method, but this time we have created our own method which is display message without any parameters, and this method resides in a set of curly brackets again, as is the main method. So we have defined a short method which just displays a message on the console, and we need to invoke it from our main method or main program. So what we need to do is in there, just start typing display. It will automatically show you the display message. So you can either click on it or click the tab key. And since this method doesn't accept any parameters, we just need to type opening and closing parenthesis, and in the end put the semicolon to mark the end of statement. And as usual, we need to write a console dot read key so that the console window waits at the end of program. Let's try to run it now. If I run this program, and here is the console window. So this time when program starts, it invokes the display message method. Control transfers to display message method. It displays this message. Control goes back to the calling method, and then it is waiting now on the read key. So let's press the space bar and it closes. So this was our first program using methods. Let's now write another program using methods that checks whether a number is even or odd. So let me create a new project. We will name this program even odd. Okay, again I will remove this line from here, and we will not write anything in between these brackets yet because they belong to the main method. So if you press enter there twice and start typing there. So in order to write this method, we will start with the same keyword static, and this time instead of returning nothing, we want to return a string message where it says whether the number is even or odd. So we'll type string as the return type, and we will name the method as check even odd, and in the parameters we will pass it a num variable which is of type integer. If I press the end key, press enter there, start the curly bracket, it will automatically insert the corresponding closing bracket, and press enter here. Declare a variable result of type string, and here we are just going to use our ternary operator, num percentage to equality sign 0. So what it does is divides this parameter by 2 and checks the remainder. If it is 0, that means it is an even number. So we put a question mark and return the string even, and if it is not divisible by 2, if the remainder is not 0, then we return odd. And then we use the return statement to return this value to the calling method. So we say return result, and that should complete our method. So let us define a variable here, int n, say equal to 7, and here we define a new variable called return value of type string and assign it the value returned by our method check even odd, and pass n as an argument to this method. And finally we display the value of this string. Since 7 is an odd number, so when we check it for even odd, the return value should be odd, and we need to write a console.read key there. And if we run this program and the output states it is odd number. So let's try with say number 10. So it states n which is equal to 10 is an even number. So let us now try to call this method with a value which is not integer. So let me copy paste this line and change the value as 8.5. So you will see a red squiggly line which says cannot convert from double to an int because this is a double value and the parameter type is int here. So what we can do is, as we learned in one of our previous videos, we can cast it to an int, and then this message goes away. So what it will do is, before this argument is passed to this function or this method, it will convert it into an integer and then call it. So if we now try to print the value here and run the program, it should say even number. So obviously the first result is for value 10, which is even, and the second value even is for this statement which has sent this 8.5 as an integer 8. So 8 is an even number, so that's what it has displayed. One more thing to note here is we can write statements like this, where the check even odd number method is passed as an argument to the console.writeLine. So we are passing this as an argument. Again, within this argument, we are trying to cast 25.5 as an integer. So if we run this program now, and this time it displays an odd because 25.5 when converted to int, it will be 25, and it is an odd number when checked by this method. So that's what it is displayed. Just one last thing before we finish this video. Here in this method, we have saved the output of the ternary operator in a string variable, and that is being returned. So what we could have done is we can, if we just comment these two lines, we can write a single statement like this: return the result of this ternary operator. So it will combine these two statements into a single statement. So if I just rerun this program, it should give me the same result. And here is the output. So this is how we use methods in C# at very basic level. If you haven't done already, please do subscribe, share, and like the video, because that really encourages me to create more. Thank you.